back to MNUFC TV. I'm going to get into the player ratings for Minnesota United 0, Portland Timbers 0 at Providence Park in Portland. I'm going to start in goal with Vito Minone, by far the best goalkeeper in Major League Soccer by, by a mile. Like I said, we need to sign him in the offseason, hands down. Outstanding goalkeeper. Um, yeah, definitely. And if he wants DP money, give him DP money. I don't know the whole logistics of MLS spending this, that, and the other thing, but if Vito Manone needs DP money, we need to give him DP money because he is definitely by far worth it. 10 out of 10 from Vito and my man of the match for sure tonight. Chase Gasper had a pretty decent game, running up and down, a couple of Chase Gasper like touches. But he's a hard worker going up and down that flank. A solid 8 out of 10 today. Really composed. Going up and down, attacking and defending wise, I thought Chase played well as a whole back line. Boxel, 8 out of 10. When Olam came in, he had to pick up a little bit of the workload, so definite good performance. Ike was dominant in the first 45 and definite 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, but unfortunately had to come off at halftime due to whatever reason. I think he might have picked up a head injury, which is not a good sign. Olam came into play against his former team and slotted in nicely, but you could tell Portland was getting more chances than Olam. It wasn't his natural position. He felt a little bit out of place, even though he does play center back. He's more of a natural defensive midfielder. I don't think he's played too much center back, and definitely not recently. So, but he came in and slotted in nicely, and a solid 7.5, I think, for Olam tonight. He played well. Just looked a little bit out of place. But this is what's unfortunate about Brett Coleman's injury. This would have been a spot for Brett Coleman to come in and slot in nicely for Ike if needed, which is unfortunate about the suspension. Montier, the machine, was dominant again tonight. Definite 9 out of 10 performance. Yeah, he had a couple of sloppy passes, but without Roman in the team, we're a completely different team, and he's just an engine down that right side and creates a lot of chances and overlapping runs, and he just runs for days. Jan Gregus is essential in our midfield. Definitely had a really good performance. I thought maybe those long shots are. He's got to get one on target soon. He's getting really good shot opportunities, but not capitalizing. It's unfortunate because he's really got a nice right foot and a wicked long shot. Um, so that's unfortunate, but he's been playing quite well, and a solid 8 tonight for Jan. A great performance in the midfield. Him and Ozzy have a really good partnership. So that's nice to see. An Ozzy, solid performance. A little bit slow at sometimes. I'm going to give him a solid 7.5. A little bit slow, as in a little bit of step behind, but I thought he played good and did his job well. And a solid 7.5. Molino, unfortunate for him not to score at the end. Really wish he would do a little bit better. I know he's going to be playing that over in his head a lot. But it was really 3 points for the taking when Molino's chance come up. But he had a lot of good passes. I really like how dangerous he is. I like how he is on the ball. Sometimes his passes are a little bit sloppy, but he has that one pass that can just take out a whole defense and play someone through. I'm going to give him a solid 8 tonight. Maybe it should be a 7.5 for not finishing the last shot. But I thought he played particularly well. Quintero, before getting subbed out, faded towards the end of the game, but the first 45, 50, 60, 50 minutes about, he was on fire. He was creating a lot of opportunities. And he had to become the outlet a lot of times when Mason really wasn't giving us an out ball. He had to go to the corners, and I thought that was really good for a veteran player to understand, a veteran forward to understand that I can free up some space for my defense, and while Mason isn't getting getting the ball at all, really, because he's not getting in these spots. He was able to find open spots where just off to the corner where he's able to we were able to reset our defense up again, which was nice. Even though Quintero doesn't particularly track back, but I feel like he's a game changer and he doesn't particularly need to. Um, I'm sure the coach gets particularly mad about that, but I think he's earned the spot to have that free role, and he is a more of a luxury player. But I feel like this defense is good enough to have a player like that in our front line. So I'm gonna give him a solid 8 tonight for the performance, and I really think we need to pick up his contract extension or option. Lloyd played on the left, and broken clock is right twice a day. He had spells where he was playing well, but then conservation of greatness, he'd do something really good and then something equally as bad. I really want to give him the benefit of the doubt, let him settle in, but he hasn't been showing too much of why he should be playing over Ethan Finley or even Miguel Ibarra. To be fair, even though Miguel didn't particularly play well before being dropped, I just don't see what Lod offers very much in this midfield. Um, his replacement, Ethan Finley, I thought played really well, and had a couple. He had a really good ball to Mason Toy when he was through. Unfortunately, Mason was gassed by the 90th minute or late 80th minute when that happened. Um, so it was really unfortunate because Ethan played well when he came on, and I think he deserves a solid 7. He just definitely earned that for being on for a short amount of time. Hassani, a 6.5. He played well in the midfield when he came in for Quintero, but there was that one risky move in the back by the goal, passing it back to Molino and just giving it to the Portland player to set up almost one time. But luckily, Big Vito bailed us out or got cleared. But that was a little bit risky and a rookie mistake, as rookies make. But I thought Hassani played all right after. So a 6.5, 7 if you want to give him that extra bump. But I thought that was a really almost costly for the point at the end, even though we could have snatched it at any moment. And Mason Toy, like I said, particularly had his flashes, but was gassed at the end, and he got some opportunities, but he didn't really create much, and a lot of the hold-up play wasn't good. He was getting bullied by Mbapa. There's number 33, Mbapa, who looked good tonight, and he was winning a lot of headers. But I thought Mason, he had a dummy that went through, and there was no one there, which isn't his fault. But I wish would have maybe try to get a flick on, shot on net, something. But if there would have been someone there, it would have been an easy tap in. So I can't blame Mason too much, and I can't particularly remember who it was from Lud's side. It could have been a Lud pass, but I didn't think Mason played particularly well, especially with Quintero having to help with a lot of the out balls. Mason wasn't helping a lot towards the end, and he was gassed, so I definitely think he's the type of player that goes for 70, 80 minutes, and that's it. He's gassed because he's running the whole time. But he didn't play awful, but a solid 7.5 tonight for Mason. So being maybe a little generous, if we would have lost, maybe the ratings would have a little bit down, but we get the point, and it's a nice away point, and if we win on Wednesday against Sporting Kansas City, we're in the playoffs for the first time, and then after that we gotta pray and hope for another win against, not pray and hope, but go out and get another win against LAFC, and hopefully a first home draw if we finish in the top half of the Western Conference. So as always, that's my player ratings for Minnesota United 0, Portland Timbers 0. As always, come on, you loons, and thanks for watching.